Hello everyone, and welcome to the final part of our series about this little Hitachi TV and other TVs that are able to receive signals from my computer and other devices. And in this video we're going to cap off the series with some final things. We're going to use an SDR and take a look at the frequencies. We're also going to go to another house and try some other different TVs there and a few other smaller things. And then finally to kind of conclude at the end of what I think is going on. So let's get into the video. And first, we shall go to the other house.
Alright, broke into this house. Now let's try a few TVs here. Let's see what happens. We got ourselves a Montgomery Ward combo, a Mega Watchman, and a no-name Jeep 80s black and white. So let's plug them in and see if we get a signal on them. Alright, so at this other house here, using this other TV. This is about the best of what I can get. We're running at 9 hertz, 10 dB, and got a lot of movement in the picture. I haven't tried the other TVs yet, see what they do, but there's something that resembles a picture there. Alright, so we got the Sony here, and it doesn't have a horizontal control in the back, it only has a vertical control. And there seems to be quite a few parts on the band here that would have a picture if I could adjust it, which is right here. So the Sony seems like it works. I don't have, even if I don't put the antenna on it like how I have it here, it still seems to work. So, on to the next one. You should always check the polarity of a DC barrel jack before you plug it in. Like in this case, the outside is positive comparison to the inside in normal cases today. Alright, here's the no-name TV, and I got it on that side here so I can adjust the horizontal hold, and we got a picture sort of in here. I don't know if you can tell, but it affects it, and the resolution whatever. There's something about messing with this and watching this and staring into it and adjusting for it that makes you feel almost sort of sick. So I think that's all for this part of the adventure. But anyways, yeah. So it is possible here receive stuff. Not as good as at the other house or whatever that was actually doing this. But it still is possible, as you can see here. Up next will be the RTL SDR. So let's get to that. Ooh, nice. Let's throw it on the computer. Alright, so I've got the SDR hooked up, and I've been going through and checking some frequencies, and I found something pretty interesting. So, when we receive our signal on here, we are at about channel 30. A little bit above it or so. So, I looked up frequencies for NTSC, and we're about channel 30. Right over here or so. So I looked on here on the SDR at about that frequency, and I found this peak. It's very quirky if you want to listen. And so I found this peak, but it's kind of a high-pitched noise, so if you don't like it, yeah. If I turn off TV, just completely unplug it, it's still there. So I'm wondering if that there is our noise that we have found, or TV is picking up. Now, if I adjust around on it, now this is on DSB right now. Makes different, almost like test tone noises. It's pretty interesting. Now if we go back to AM here,
and we get nothing. If we head over to FM, or narrow FM, it's very interesting because on narrow FM, as you can hear, nothing. The static completely drops up. There's off it, and there's back on. Now, I'm no expert in how to use this thing, as you probably can tell. As I just got it today, essentially. But it's weird how it makes little test tone noises on certain frequencies and stuff. On just little adjustments of it. It's kind of neat. So I plan to keep going through here and see if I find anything else interesting. Oh, and here's a wideband sweep of it. There's almost like a bit of a hump starting at 578 megahertz, and it ends about 584. And the TV being on or off does not affect it. So now let's go to the next part on the band here, that we get a good signal. Let's try around channel 50, because we got something going on here. Channel 50 is about 686 megahertz. Alright, we're around channel 50, and we got ourselves another little peak here. Zoom in. So let's go zoom back out. See what else we got here. Because it can go out to... Get another little peak. And another little peak. Now let's go to the next part of the band where I've got a picture that's fairly sharp. About channel 70. Channel 70 is about 806 megahertz. Now let's check around here. We got tiny peak, which makes some smoke squeals. We got another peak right here. This is just above. This is all through the headphones right now. TV light will be off at the moment. This should be pretty helpful for figuring out what we got going on here. And I think I got an idea of what's happening. Not exact, but something that should be at least close. So, let's head to the next part of the video. Alright, here's a small quick thing added to the rest of it. We're going to try without the Variac here. I usually just have it here for as a bench power supply, just to plug things easily into like laptops or whatever needs to be repaired. But people might think it's the cause of it, so prove it's not. Just going to unplug it here. Turn off the Variac. It's completely unplugged now. And here we got just a plug. What was the noise out of this? What's this? That's a clock. So all we got is this. Now we're just gonna plug on in TV here to one of these outlets. It's one of these keys. Here's flaky. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, this is without the Variac again. Completely off. Yeah. Can it run Doom? Well, at least it could sort of play Half-Life. If you can somehow interpret this. Oh, there we go.
technically you could put Half-Life. Here we got a clip of both. A little bit of latency between them. See if I can get it working. Sort of lock in. So you can see within like almost a square here. I don't know if you can or not. Try to adjust it. This is as if it was the actual camera itself. It loses horizontal and vertical sync.
This part of the video is pretty interesting. It's hard to show it on camera here, but it receives a signal from the player itself, but there's like almost no image to it. It's very interesting, so make sure you pay attention to that. But I have to record this afterward to explain it, because again, it's hard to show on camera.
Using just the one here. So, turn this on. This player is not so great, but so it comes up here, and it's on the panel. Now, there's not a lot visible on here. There we go. It's sort of locked in, whatever this is at the moment. And we got a movie here. It's the first Blu-ray I could find. I don't even know if this player works. I hope it does. Because it's loading. Oh, there we go. Make sure the volume's all the way down. I just prefer not to get any sort of copyright issues. Playing something here. Nothing appears to be showing up on our little TV though. Our video cable is not much this time, just weird interference from the player itself, I guess. This is also a different cable than what I've been using. Notice that the cables do affect it, which I suppose would make sense. Better shielded ones probably leak less. Well, according to this disc, hitting the play button does not play it. So, I don't know. Well, this kind of already shows that I guess it sort of works, but it probably depends on your Blu-ray player, I guess, because we're picking up some noise and stuff from it. Like if I turn this thing off, watch the screen here, it just disappears. So it's somewhat picking up the video signal. I don't know if it's just a type of signal or something that's not receiving it well. But there is testing a Blu-ray player as it was requested. May have different success with different players, as I have with other ones as well. Oh, I turned it back on. Your interference again. So yeah, there you go. That's testing the Blu-ray part. Hello everyone, 2 a.m. me here, finishing off the edit for the video. There was someone that requested to see something on batteries here, trying to pick up the signal. Here we got a Watchman, and this is about the best I can pick up. I can't adjust any sort of horizontal or vertical hold on it, so that may be part of it. But in a conclusion, I'll go over probably why I don't see anything. Also, I'd like to mention that there's a lot of comments. There's like over 1,000, so I'm sorry if I didn't get to yours. There's also some information regarding to that this might be more of an HDMI thing rather than DisplayPort, and I also believe it's over DVI and VGA, which would make sense in these cases, as this is what I've been testing through. I have no way to just test DisplayPort itself, as I don't have a video card that just does DisplayPort, or a monitor that's just DisplayPort, or any of that, or even one that has a DisplayPort on it. So take that with what I can say, or take that for what you will. Let's see what else. Oh, one last thing.
You may want to check out some of my other videos. I got some fun ones, just having fun installing some old software, and also there will be in the description a extra video in regards of changing refresh rates and resolutions, so take a look at that. Hopefully I'll have it up at the same day as the video. Other than that, it should be a few days after I got it out. So yeah, let's continue on to the conclusion so I can finish editing this thing. So I've done some research on my own time, and also went through comments and stuff like that for the conclusion of this video of what's going on here. So it most likely seems like it's this Variac freaking, or what's happening essentially is that RF is being leaked out in my computer or other devices, and most likely it's like AM based, because if you say, for instance, put up like a little AM radio up against I don't know, say a monitor, usually you'll get interference and stuff like that. And in the case of this, most likely the RF is being generated probably somewhere in the computer, maybe the graphics or stuff like that, or just in the output for video. And what happens is it leaks out, and in most cases, or in this case for me, it's most likely getting into my electrical system in my house, which the wiring in my home is great. Every time it got renovated a long time ago, as my family's lived in this house for over 100 years or so, let's just say every time there's a renovation done, another power box was added, and it's been renovated quite a few times at this point. So, oh, and they're all still powered up, so that's a lot of fun. But what's happening is most likely it's getting sent back into the power system, and the TV here is picking it up through the power cord, which would make sense, as old tech tends to be able to do that pretty well. Essentially just another way to add more the ability for it to receive better. Same thing with old AM and FM radios. They also kind of take some signal from the wall outlet. That's why they don't work very well in homes with a lot of modern electronics, as the interference will cause them to have a lot of noise and static and sound and stuff such as that. But in the case of this situation here, it's picking it up probably through the power, and it's probably AM modulated, as it's displaying on the screen here, because for TV, on a TV band, it has it where the picture is AM based and the sound is FM based, which is probably why there's no sound, because it's a lot harder to modulate FM rather than AM. So this is probably just interference being created from the output on my computer onto this screen. I think that's how it should be explained, or how to sum it up. Essentially, my computer makes the RF, goes through the power lines, or in this case, down my wall outlet. It gets leaked into the power. It's sent through the power into, in this case, this TV. That's why it goes so far. It's not being radiated locally and being, say, transmitted out. Now, the implications of this could be different. As you can see in the clip of in the earlier part where I was doing this at another house, trying and seeing what would happen, I didn't have as good of results, which may also be partially because the wiring in my home sucks. But it means it is possible, and the fact that this is non-specialized equipment, this is just a little 80s TV. It was probably a decent one. It probably wasn't the cheapest of cheap, but can't say it's anything fancy. And the fact that it receives this and receives it as well as it does is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's my conclusion of this. Essentially, it's just radiation that's getting put back into the power line, and essentially I'm just able to eavesdrop on my little monitor here. Here's actually the wiki page for the freaking or whatever, the different radiation or whatever, and it being investigated. But yeah, pretty interesting subject. And I want to thank everyone for watching this series that I got going here. This is the final part or whatever. If you have any sort of other ideas, I might post something in the comments if I try it out. But other than that, this is probably the end of this, because I don't think there's much more I can add to this. I also have a lot of other fun tech videos going on and series. I recommend that you try the installing videos. Those are a lot of fun to make. And it's not as what it sounds like, or just installing old software. It's more like messing around with old software and having kind of fun with it. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Oh, and I'm gonna make this into a full complete series. I'll edit all the 3 videos together. Probably after like a week that this video comes out, or sometime after. It shouldn't be too hard to do that. It's mostly been really busy, so I haven't been able to put out a lot of videos, and I just want to get this one done. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun making this series. So yeah, thanks. Please like and subscribe, and goodbye.